So hello everyone, this is the probability and stochastic homework 5 question 1. And in this question, it requires you to derive the consequence in two different methods. And in the first one, it requires you to use convolution method. And so we can take this to functions into this formula fx and fy. We can take these two functions into this convolution formula. So we can get the functions as below. Then we can make a calculation, and then we can calculate this function as the functions below. U alpha minus 1 times u z minus alpha d alpha, and then just like this, and so we can derive these functions. So as we know that this function the u alpha times u z minus alpha d alpha sorry it's this minus 440 times u alpha times u z minus alpha d alpha. We know that this function it equals to f 0z u alpha times u z minus alpha. We know this function, so we can take the parameters like this function and derive the formula as below. So then we all we need to do is the calculation, and so take it for example. It equals to as it equals to 1 and it equals to 1, so we can write it as so it equals to z minus 1 times u z minus 1. So this is what we can derive, and we can write it as this function, and so then we can then it is the consequence. So then we can do the second part. The second part requires us to explain the questions using geometric method. So firstly, we can sketch a graph in the below. As we know that fx minus equals and this function it is hard to use this function directly, so we can firstly we can check it in a different part in a different format, so we can set it as this format. So we can sketch the graph like this. It ranges from 0 to 1. X-axis and it is y-axis, and z equals x plus y. So we can use a graph to help us to explain this question. So we know that we can discuss it in 3 parts. Firstly, one. Sorry, you can look at this. Firstly, 1 z less than 1. So the graph is like this. The areas in shadow is what we need to calculate. So the probability is listed as this function, and the area is it's z and it is z. So the area is half times z times z. So the consequence is z square over 2 as is. And then we need to derive the joint density function. So we make a differential. So as this format, so the consequence is z. Then we discuss when z more than 1 and smaller than 2. So it is what we need to calculate. So it contains 3 parts. We need to calculate this area. So we can use the area of this big triangular to minus these two similar areas. So the consequence is 1/2 times z times z minus these 2 area. It equals z minus 1 square. And so it had two areas, so we times 2. So this is the final consequence, and the consequence is this here. Then we derive the joint density function as this. So then the final situation is 1z bigger than 2. So the fz is equals to 1. And so the joint density function is equals to 0. Through this method, we can sketch the graph as this. Through the graph, we can list the formula as this one. So finally, what we calculate is 1 fs equals it's here, equals ux minus 1. But what we need to calculate is this part. So what should we need to do? We need to shift the graph to the right side, one right side. So the final consequence is z minus 1 So this is the consequence. That's all.